There is something quietly powerful about Thailand during the day that most people never talk about because it doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't need to. The moment you step onto the streets in the late morning, when the air is warm but unhurried, you begin to feel it. The pace is slower, the expressions are softer, and the energy feels open. This is when the real Thailand shows itself. And this is when many men first understand why the country has such a strong pull. It starts with the women you see walking past you, not posing, not performing, simply living their day with a confidence that feels natural rather than forced. In places like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket, the streets are filled with motion that feels balanced. Women walking to work, meeting friends, running errands, or heading to class move with an ease that immediately stands out to men who aren't used to seeing this level of calm self-assurance in daily life. There's a sense that no one is rushing to impress anyone else, and paradoxically, that's exactly what makes it so captivating. Very early into experiencing this, most men realize something important. And before we go any further, this is the moment where I'll ask you to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe because this conversation is about more than travel photos or surface impressions. It's about understanding why Thailand feels different at a human level, especially during the day, and why so many men feel at ease here in a way they didn't expect. What makes the daytime streets of Thailand special isn't just beauty, it's accessibility. The women you encounter feel approachable without being intrusive. A smile isn't loaded with expectation. Eye contact isn't confrontational. There's room for conversation, but also room for silence. For many men, this balance is unfamiliar. Back home, interactions often feel rushed, guarded, or transactional. Here, there's a sense of emotional breathing room. As you walk, you start noticing how often simple interactions happen organically. Asking for directions doesn't feel like an interruption. Ordering coffee turns into light conversation. Sitting down for a break invites shared glances and polite curiosity. Thai women are culturally social without being aggressive, friendly without being invasive. This is one of the reasons Thailand is so appealing to men who value calm connection over loud attention. Another layer reveals itself as the day goes on. Many Thai women are genuinely open to dating, especially when approached with respect and patience. Dating culture here doesn't revolve around instant chemistry or fast escalation. It's built on consistency, tone, and mutual comfort. Men who slow down, listen, and communicate clearly often find that interactions deepen naturally. There's less pressure to impress and more emphasis on presence. This is also where the topic of long-term relationships quietly enters the picture. Some Thai women are genuinely interested in serious relationships, including marriage with men from abroad, particularly from the United States. Not because of fantasy or shortcuts, but because values like stability, kindness, and emotional reliability matter deeply here. Family is important. Long-term thinking is common. When a man demonstrates emotional maturity and consistency, it's noticed. The daytime environment reinforces this mindset. Without nightlife distractions, people are more themselves. Conversations happen in real time, not under artificial lights or loud music. You learn how someone thinks, not just how they present themselves. For men who are tired of surface-level interactions, this feels refreshing, even grounding. As hours pass, you begin to understand why Thailand feels like a paradise specifically for men traveling solo. There's a lack of hostility toward masculinity here. Men aren't treated as problems to be managed. They're treated as individuals. Politeness goes both ways. Respect is assumed unless proven otherwise. This creates a relaxed confidence that many men didn't realize they were missing. What's also important to understand is that friendliness here doesn't mean entitlement. Thai culture values mutual respect. Women who are open to conversation still expect courtesy, patience, and emotional intelligence. Men who arrive with humility tend to have the best experiences. Those who rush or project assumptions often feel out of sync. Thailand rewards awareness. By mid-afternoon, something subtle happens. You stop comparing. You stop evaluating. You simply observe. And in that observation, you realize how rare it is to feel comfortable simply existing in public space. This is where Thailand quietly wins people over. Not through spectacle, but through atmosphere. The longer you stay, the more you notice how relationships here tend to unfold gradually. A conversation today becomes another tomorrow. Familiarity builds slowly. Trust isn't rushed. For men interested in something meaningful, this pace can feel reassuring. It allows space for genuine interest to grow without pressure. As the day begins to soften and shadows stretch along the sidewalks, you start reflecting on what you've experienced. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't overwhelming. And yet, it stayed with you. That's the hallmark of Thailand's daytime charm. It doesn't demand attention. It earns it. Near the end of the day, as people begin transitioning into evening routines, you understand why so many men don't just visit Thailand once. They return, not chasing a memory, but reconnecting with a feeling of ease they don't often find elsewhere. And as we come to the close of this reflection, if this perspective resonated with you, take a moment to like the video, comment with your thoughts or experiences, and subscribe for more conversations like this. Thailand isn't just a destination, it's an atmosphere. And for many men, it quietly changes how they see travel, connection, and themselves. As the day continues, you begin to notice how much of Thailand's appeal comes from what doesn't happen. There's no constant tension in the air, no sense that people are bracing themselves against one another. The streets feel cooperative rather than competitive. Everyone seems to understand their place in the rhythm of the day, and that shared understanding creates a calm that's hard to describe until you experience it yourself. For many men, this is where something internal shifts. You stop scanning the environment defensively. You relax into it. The women you see passing by carry themselves with quiet certainty. There's an absence of performative behavior, and that absence is striking. They aren't trying to be seen, yet they are impossible to ignore. Their confidence isn't loud, it's settled. For men who are accustomed to environments where attention feels transactional, this can feel refreshing, almost disarming. You realize that attraction here isn't forced into existence. It emerges naturally when two people feel at ease. What also becomes clear is how much value is placed on emotional tone. The way something is said matters as much as what is said. Conversations unfold gently. Humor is light, never cutting. Disagreements, when they arise, are handled softly. This emotional awareness is one of the reasons interactions during the day feel so smooth. For men who communicate clearly and calmly, this environment feels supportive rather than challenging. As you spend more time simply observing, you begin to understand why Thailand is often described as a place where relationships grow rather than spark and disappear. There's patience built into everyday life. People expect things to take time, whether that's trust, familiarity, or affection. This expectation removes pressure. It allows men to show up as themselves rather than trying to impress or escalate too quickly. Another subtle but important realization is how welcome curiosity feels here. Asking questions isn't seen as intrusive when done respectfully. Sharing your story doesn't feel like oversharing. There's room for mutual learning. Thai women who are open to dating foreign men often enjoy these exchanges, not because they're searching for escape, but because they value understanding. They want to know who you are, how you think, and what kind of life you're building. Depth is attractive here. As the afternoon stretches on, you may find yourself lingering longer than planned, sitting longer, walking slower, watching more. This is usually when men realize they aren't trying to get anything from the environment anymore. They're simply participating in it. That shift alone explains why so many travelers describe Thailand as transformative rather than just enjoyable. The beauty of the daytime streets is that nothing is rushed toward conclusion. Encounters don't feel like deadlines. If something is meant to continue, it will. If it isn't, it fades without tension. That emotional neutrality is rare, and once you feel it, you understand why men speak about Thailand with such calm appreciation rather than excitement alone. And by the time the day begins to lean toward evening, You recognize that what stayed with you wasn't a single interaction or moment, but a feeling of ease. A sense that connection here doesn't require effort, only awareness. That feeling is why Thailand doesn't just attract visitors. It invites them back.